A lot of questions that we're getting is if you can use the RDM mast on our free ride and free slalom sails. That means sails with no cams or even sails with cams. Let's say that the cam sail, if it's designed to work with the SDM mast, it has to use an SDM mast. If it's made to be used with an RDM, you need to use the RDM. The reason is because the diameter being smaller on an RDM, it means that the cams, if you use a different mast, it will actually get too jammed in if you put an SDM mast where the RDM is needed, or the cams will not touch the mast if it's designed for the SDM and you want to use an RDM. You can put spacers, you can cut the cams, there are ways to do it, but I don't advise it because it's kind of complicated. It's hard to find the right pressure, and also in the end, if a sail is designed with one mast, especially a cam sail, it's better to use it with that mast. For no cam, you can still use it. It's more simple because it will fit, so both will fit inside any sail with no cams, whether it's a free slalom or a free ride sail. Of course the profiles will change because we will have the mast sleeve, which is actually having a size, and that size, if you put a RDM mast, will have more space to move. So practically the profiles, if you use an SDM or an RDM, can change, especially when you go on the water. Probably you will not see it so much on the beach, but on the water you will feel the difference. So what does this do? I will rig the sails with both masts. So I will go on the water, first with the RDM and then with an SDM, and I will let you know exactly what happens, and I will show you the profiles so that you can decide in future whether you want to use the advice mast, which could be an RDM, or an advice mast, which could be an SDM, or to switch them around. For marketing, brands are often saying that you can use the sails with both masts. It's a compromise. We can say that, everybody can say that, you know, but it's just a compromise. The truth is that one mast diameter will actually work better. I'm going to use the 6.9 AC0 to test this out. So it's a set that we actually designed with the 430 SDM. But I'm going to put in the 430 RDM as well, and they're both 100%, so same carbon content, and I will be on the water, and I will let you know the feelings and the differences between the two masts. Andrea, you were out first with the SDM mast, and then you took the RDM mast on the same sail. What was your first feeling that you got as soon as you went on the water?
Okay, I felt it was very easy to handle the sail, yes, but I felt also a little bit of movement in the sail.
The movement is coming because practically the RDM mast, being small in diameter, is giving more material around the mast leaf. And this is what's happening, is that when the gust comes, there's more material, so the sail can actually get more profile, but then it can't hold all that profile, so it's coming back. So there's this kind of work in the profile, and this is what you were feeling. So the gust comes, you get more profile. Less wind, it goes back. With an SDM mast, having less material, because of course the diameter is filling up more the mast leaf, you have less game, and so the stability is higher. You tried also the RDM and the SDM mast 100% on the S68, and you actually felt more comfortable on the RDM, correct?
Yeah.
You're lighter in weight compared to Andrea.
Kilos.
Yeah, so 70 kilos. The wind was kind of strong, so you were overpowered. And the RDM made you feel a little bit more comfortable, correct?
It's softer, and
softer.
the gust is more comfortable than the SDM.
Yes. This movement that the sail has with the RDM is perhaps giving somehow a little bit less direct power. That's what you felt. And but this movement that it's doing is like absorbing the gust. So you have less acceleration, you have less reflex, but it's also giving you this kind of forgiving feeling. So if you're lighter and it gets stronger, the RDM for sure gives you a little bit less calm feeling. But if you're looking for like a bit more racy, I think the SDM will still It's better.
It's
Yes, faster also. Yes. So this is the AC0. It's rigged with the RDM mast, and as you see, the profile is still very nice. But of course, using an RDM, it means that the mast leaf, as you see, is actually not fulfilled from the diameter of the mast. So what happens is that when the wind comes in, there's actually more material that can stretch till the material gets in tension. So you get a deeper profile. But the thing is that the wind can't keep all this pressure all the time in, so there is more of this movement. While with the SDM, having the diameter of the mast also filling, let's say, this part of the mast sleeve material, it will actually go to a point and stay at that point, so becoming more reactive, more stable, and giving, let's say, a higher performance. So that's the difference between using an RDM and SDM. So it doesn't matter, you know, at the moment you can use both the mast. For sure, one will give you an advantage, as the guys have explained, being a little bit less, let's say, racing with the RDM, a bit more soft, because you have all this material which is like absorbing the chop, while the SDM will just take the shape, stay in position, and just deliver all the performance. I now rigged the sail with the SDM mast. For sure, it took a little bit more energy to put in the mast into mast sleeve, because of course it's wider. So let's say maybe 10% more pressure I have to put in the mast. And directly when I'm downhauling the sail, I can feel the skin tension of the sail being more tense. You know, like the structure starts to feel more like a racing sail already, like when I downhaul a race sail. And the profile is very nice in the front. There's a little bit more tension on the body of the sail. The material on the mast sleeve, as you can see, it still has just a little bit of space, of course, to make it easy to put in the mast. But the main thing is that when the pressure goes in, it's just letting the sail flop that little bit more, which the wind is then able to keep in place while sailing. So let's say that it's good to have this extra bit loose. Now that I've rigged both the sails one back to back, I could actually really, as I just focused on this, you know, I could actually really see the difference already from the rigging, you know, between the two masts. I can actually feel it on the sail, I could feel it on the downhole, I can see it on the profile. So the characteristics of the two masts are very, very different. So do expect that if you go from an RDM mast to an SDM, or from an SDM to an RDM on a no-cam sail, you will actually have differences. And generally, I prefer SDM masts for no-cam sails from 430 mast up, because they are lighter, they are more stable, they just lock in better on a bigger sail. While the MDM, RDM masts, I generally prefer them like on smaller sizes, like from 6.0 down, so 4-meter masts, and then it makes sense, let's say, to have those masts also, because they're a little bit heavier, they have more carbon, and therefore, let's say, if you crash, they are a little bit more resistant than a SDM mast.